Hey everyone, this is Christian Ali coming back to you with Age of Mythology Retold. Now, I have finally understood, it's come to my attention, that you can just press continue here if you really want to start the game from there. But I know that we all want to see, at least I do, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too, we all want to see the beginnings of that story part in part 4. Yes, we will be doing these later, but for now we're going into trying a fine plan for those who, the Greeks and their Atlantean allies, prepare to lay siege to the mighty Trojan Gate. For those who have come in late, we are fighting the Trojan War after having a vision with Athena herself telling Arkantos to fight to protect Atlantis. I think it's setting him upon his quest. We fought pirates. Then we ended up on this island fighting a pirate minotaur and making good on a promise to help with the Trojan War. If you don't know what the Trojan War is, basically Helen of Sparta's been taken. Agamemnon, her husband, is trying to get her back. It was a consensual kidnapping, technically, because Helen fell in love with Paris. But we fought 10 years to get her back and to put an end to the chaos that may inflict Greece with no treaty by marriage with Agamemnon. So the Atlanteans have finally made progress after 10 long years fighting this war without progress. And Akantos and his storied heroes, along with the familiar face of Odysseus, are finally prepared to storm the mighty Trojan Gate and bring Helen back from the evil clutches and machinations of Paris and his family. I don't know if his family was involved in that, but hey.
Ah, and here he comes, Odysseus, a champion of Atlantis, sent to fight in my army. Join us, Arkantos. You know the famous Odysseus, surely.
I know of him. Your reputation precedes you.
As does yours. Are you ready for the siege? We could use your advice in planning our attack.
As the commander here, I have already taken care of the plans, Odysseus. You and Arkantos will take your armies and start the siege of the gates.
That's a fine start. What about the other armies?
Ajax and I will keep our men in reserve. When you get through, Ajax will rush his men in to clear out the Trojan defenders. Then I will enter and rescue Helen.
Sounds like a good plan. Can't believe you get to be the big hero though. Oh well. Okay. As always, I am going to speed things up.
Take over one of Troy's mining operations.
Okay, here's... Oh no, you don't. You should just keep the spaceships, but no, we don't need these guys. Do need is a little more. What the? What's that?
A trade caravan! This supplies Troy with gold! We can put a stop to that!
Donkey Caravan of Troy. Task the caravan on any town center to collect gold and return it to your market. Longer routes produce more gold. Trade was critical for any ancient empire to survive. Certain geographic areas had different resources in abundance, while others were sorely lacking. The Greek city-states exported resources such as silver, obsidian, and seashells, as well as crafts such as pottery and metal vases. However, they imported other resources such as copper, tin, gold, and amber, as well as other products such as glass beads and seals. Cities along trade routes such as Alexandria in Egypt and Byblos in the Middle East became wealthy and powerful. This doesn't look good. What do we do in this situation? Okay. What is that? Storehouse by the Trojan gold miners. A drop site where villagers deposit wood and gold that they have gathered. The Greek storehouse acts as a drop-off site for both gold and wood, both a storehouse close to gold mines or forests that you wish to gather. You may also research improvements at the storehouse that improve the efficiency of gold and wood gatherers.
Here's the gold we need. Λέγε.
Okay. Hippeus. Greek cavalry are expensive but powerful. Hippeis are strong against ranged units and can strike quickly against siege weapons, but are weaker against infantry. Greek cavalry other than the scouts or elite hetairoi were called Hippeis, singular Hippeis. Archaic Greek armies initially consisted predominantly of foot soldiers, but the Greco-Persian War, circa 5th century BCE, made the utility of other arms evident. Organized corps of Hippeis cavalry and other light troops were raised to support hoplite infantry armies. Probably pronouncing that wrong again. Cavalry forces saw increased prominence during the Hellenistic period when Macedonian armies used them to devastating effect. Okay.
Smacking.
What do we do?
Καλώς.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσεχε. Βούλομαι. Έστω. Μεταλλεύς. Μάλιστα. Μεταλλεύς.
Wow, that's pretty good actually. Alright.
Έτοιμος.
Wait, do we have a temple? Yes, we do.
Πρόσταγμα.
Fishing ship. The seas off Egypt, Greece and Scandinavia were important sources of food since prehistoric times. The technology of boat building and further improvements in nets, navigation, boat capacity, traps, etc. all improved the efficiency and productivity of fishermen. Wall murals depict Greek fishermen catching bluefin tuna in Mycenaean times, 1,000 years before the classical era. The Norse were also great sea hunters and fishermen. Salted and dried fish could be stored for many months and was an important source of protein before the advent of refrigeration. Soldiers and nomads need shelter from the elements as they travel. Tent, akantos, a temporary shelter that supports 10 population. Tents cannot be rebuilt if lost. Soldiers and nomads need shelter from the elements as they travel. Tents were made of skins, canvas, wood, and other commonly available portable materials. The tents of high-ranking officers and nobles were often elaborately decorated and had fine furniture, rugs, and other items of luxury within. All collapsible, of course. Of course.
Prostagma.
Dock, akantos. 100 wood. Construct ships and naval myth units and serve as a drop site for fish and other food. Must be built near water. The dock constructs fishing ships and serves as a drop site for all food. Additionally, it builds all types of warships and naval myth units. You can also upgrade your ships and research improvements for them at the dock. Long before written history began, humans were building boats and venturing out to sea to trade and fish. Boat building became an important skill for civilizations that had access to the sea for commerce and fishing. Boat building was mostly done at waterside workshops in sheltered harbours. Fishing boats would also unload their catch there. This statue represents Major God statue, a work of art. This statue represents a major god. Images of gods were a form of veneration and celebration, and it was believed that they brought the power of the gods closer. Many homes would also have small statues or other representations of ancestors and gods. These were treated with great respect and reverence in the hope that the homes that they inhabited would be blessed. The temple. At the temple you may train mythological units and research improvements that require the favour of the gods to access. Greeks may pray at their temples to gain favour. Most early civilizations invested considerable wealth in their religious life, including the construction of temples or similar places where rites and ceremonies were conducted. Religious leaders were trained and beliefs were refined and passed on. Temples were often dedicated to one or more gods and acted as points of communication between humans and deities. Believers might visit a temple to petition the gods for help and offer prayer, tribute, or sacrifices to improve the reception of pleas. Temples were often magnificent buildings that overshadowed anything else in a city. In Age of Mythology, the granary is a drop site for all types of food. You may research improvements of the granary to increase food gathering rates. Agricultural societies stored their grain surpluses in granaries, so that food would be available during the winter months. Granaries could be a large brick or stone silos, or buildings sheltering smaller jars or barrels of grain. Improper storage would cause grain to spoil, forcing the farmers to resume nomadic hunting and gathering to avoid starvation before the next harvest.
Λέγε. Μέστο.
Πρόσταγμα. Βόλομε.
Λέγε.
Τέκτον.
Πρόσεχε.
Ταπεινός.
Back to prayer. Greek military academies train and upgrade infantry and counter-infantry units. The Greek civilization uses the military academy to produce and upgrade infantry units. For most of their classical age, Greek armies were purely infantry. A town's adult male population served in the ranks, fighting with long spears and sword, carrying the round aspis shield, and wearing the crested helmet, a breastplate and greaves on the shins. Pardon me. Although hoplite battle was generally simple and usually brief because of its violence, it required firm discipline and some training. Moving and fighting in dense formations with heavy equipment and weapons required practice. Training and drilling took place regularly at an academy or similar institution. You may research improvements of the armory that make your soldiers more effective in combat and provide them with better armor. The armory was a specialized forge where bronze, iron, and other materials were manufactured into tools, weapons, shields, and armor. Armory craftsmen also experimented, searching for ways to improve their wares, because armies with superior equipment could have significant advantage in battle. Who would be better? Ooh, that's pretty impressive, but no. I'm going for this one. I'm going for naval warfare.
Reinforcements!
Έτοιμος.
Έτοιμος.
Έτοιμος. Προσέκε.
Odysseus hero. Age 44, ranged hero, good against myth units. Age 44. Homeland Ithaca. Occupation King and General. The ruler of the island of Ithaca, Odysseus was one of the most prominent Greek champions in the Trojan War. The stratagem of the Trojan horse was his idea, following the victory at Troy. He set on his 10-year journey home, chronicled for all time by Homer in the epic poem Odyssey. Along the way, Odysseus and his crew experienced many adventures and misfortunes, some of their own making and some thanks to the intervention of the gods. Blinding the Cyclops Polyphemus incurred the wrath of Poseidon, who troubled them for years. Thanks to help from Zeus, Athena and other gods, Odysseus arrived home alone to find his wife Penelope beset by suitors. Disguised as a beggar, he first determined that Penelope had been faithful, and then slew the men pursuing her and cleansed his palace. This triggered a final battle against the families the men killed, but Athena restored the peace. Ooh, what's that? Whoops. Oh, what? Uh-oh.
Λέγε.
Μάλιστα. Καλώς, εισβολή. Έτοιμος. Ορθός.
Έτοιμη. Μάλιστα.
Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμο. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος.
Καλώς. Λέγε.
Έτοιμος.
Έτοιμο. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. Χώρο.
Destroy this building.
Πρόσεχε. Μεταλλεύς. Λέγε. Τέκτον.
Λέγε.
Πρόσεχε. Έτοιμος. Βούλωμα.
Okay. Let me think. Alright.
Έτοιμος.
Trireme. This oared galley propelled the classical Greek city-states, Athens in particular, into naval supremacy. The trireme, triaries in Greek, was named because the oarsmen were stationed in 3 rows, allowing more men to fit on a smaller ship. A standard trireme was about 120 foot long and manned by over 150 oarsmen. The ship could cover about 160 nautical miles at a constant speed of 7.5 knots. They also had square sails, which could not always be used on the temperamental Mediterranean Sea. During the wars with Persia, Athens alone commanded over 200 of these ships. Okay. Lepidus. Siege weapons can destroy buildings, but are weak against other units, especially cavalry. The name of this siege machine translates as Taker of Cities. The name was first applied to a mobile tower constructed by Greeks to attack a city on Cyprus. My family's from Cyprus, that's cool. This large, movable tower mounted stone throwers and balusters to different sizes, with the smallest at the top. 200 men pushed the tower up to the enemy walls using parallel beams extending out from its bottom. The larger weapons on the machines battered the walls, while the smaller ones swept defenders off the walls in preparation for an assault. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh boy. They're coming! Oh, what are those? Uh-oh.
Έτοιμος. Τέκτον. Πρόσεχε. Ταπεινός.
Greek fortresses fire arrows and garrison units. They also trained siege weapons, heroes, and powerful, unique units. The Greek fortress is a strong defensive building on which certain units can garrison. Garrisoned units add to the firepower of the fortress. You may also train unique units, heroes, and siege weapons, as well as research military improvements at the fortress. The Mycenaean civilization of Bronze Age Greece was a collection of city-states, each centered on a hilltop fortress. The competition between the city-states for farm and orchard lands, combined with the threat of barbarian raids from the north, made strong defenses crucial for survival. The typical fortress used cliffs, stone walls, strong gates, and winding exposed approaches to create a powerful defensive position. In addition, a fortress functioned as a palace, armory, and administrative center in many cities.
Έτοιμοι.
We're going to build another fortress up here.
Τέκτον.
Προς λέγε. Χώρο. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Ισμάχιν.
Ooh, now that could be interesting. No, we need siege. Nemean lion, Acanthos Myth unit whose roar causes damage to all enemies in the area. Good against human soldiers. Scientific name. Leo Nemii. Size 6,000 pounds. And in this corner weighing at over 6,000 pounds, the Nemean lion. This large and ferocious lion lived on the plains of Nemea, terrorizing the region. Normal men could not kill it and ran in fear from its mighty roar, so Heracles was sent against it as the first of his 12 labors. When Heracles discovered that his arrows and other weapons would not penetrate the Nemean lion's hide, the hero closed with it and used his incredible strength to strangle it. He then skinned the beast with its own claws and returned with its skin as the impenetrable cloak that he is usually depicted as wearing. Whoa. I always wondered how he was able to get the skin. He used its own claws against it. That's something. That's something.
Έτοιμος.
Colossus. Myth unit. This titanic construct can eat trees or mines to heal itself. Good against human soldiers and buildings. Scientific name. None. Artificial construct. Size over 50 foot high. Diet. Trees and gold. The great Colossus of Rhodes was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It stood over 150 foot high on a 50-foot white marble base. It was mostly hollow, with a skin of bronze welded to a skeleton frame of stone and metal. Though it was destroyed by an earthquake after standing for only about 50 years, its size was such that people came to Rhodes just to see its ruins, just as people today visit the ruins of other Greek monuments, buildings and temples. Plenty. The Plenty Vault. This god power creates a wondrous mythical vault that grants a constant flow of food, wood, and gold. To erect the Vault of Plenty, left-click the Plenty item, then left-click where you wish to place the vault. The gods favor the strong. If an enemy destroys all of your nearby units and town centers, then they can seize control of the vault and receive the flow of resources. Place the vault carefully, and then defend it well. Ruins. Greek temple and palace ruins can be found all around the Mediterranean, some particularly intact, and impressive examples of the Doric order exist at Paestum near Naples, Italy. Paestum was founded in the 7th century BCE by Dorian colonists from the city of Sybaris. They called it Posidonia, and the city was as a hub for agriculture and trade for centuries. Posidonia was conquered first by the barbarian Lusanians and eventually by the Romans around 270 BCE. The Romans named the city Paestum. The nearby eruption of Vesuvius in 79 CE did no immediate damage to Paestum, but may have contributed to the silting in of its river and the city's eventual demise. Early Christians lived there, and later Saracen Muslims, but the city was eventually abandoned in the late 9th century CE because of frequent raids and the mosquitoes that inhabited the swampy lands that formed the Scilly River silted up. Turns out Mozzies like silt. If you don't like mosquitoes, don't get silt. Two rules. Use Erigard and don't get silt and avoid silt. Okay, I think we are going to get as much of these bad boys as we possibly can. Whoops.
Πρόσταγμα έτοιμος.
Here's ship. Alright, who's this guy? Polyphemus. Oh, hey dude. Cyclops hero with a powerful area attack. Good against Smith units. Switches to a ranged attack to fight flying units. Collects relics. Age 205. Homeland Sicily. Occupation shepherd. Shepherd? This son of Poseidon was a Cyclops who lived a solitary existence in a cave near Sicily, herding sheep. His life was interrupted when Odysseus and his men landed nearby seeking food during their journey home from Troy. Odysseus wanted to see a Cyclops, so he and his crew hid in Polyphemus's cave. Gasping at the sight of the one-eyed giant, they revealed their presence, and the Cyclops grabbed 2 of the men and ate them. He blocked the cave entrance with a large rock and continued eating 2 men each meal. Desperate, Odysseus and his men fashioned a large pole into a spear and stabbed Polyphemus in the eye after getting him drunk. Pardon me. The men then hung from the bellies of the sheep when the Cyclops let them out the next day. Not content with merely escaping, Odysseus taunted Polyphemus from his ship and revealed his name. The Cyclops called upon his father Poseidon to curse the Greeks, and the god complied, harassing Odysseus for the rest of his journey. Okay.
Leye Prostagma.
Right. That's what we're gonna do. Next, what's the plan? Here's what we're going to do. Whoa-ho-ho!
Πρόσταγμα.
The Argo. Hero, Acanthos. The Argo, swift sailing, was a ship built by Argos of Thessaly out of beech trees from Mount Pelion. Athena aided in the construction herself. Jason and the other Argonauts sailed on the Argo in their quest for the Golden Fleece. It was the largest ship ever built, with a full 50 oars, one for each of the Argonauts. Athena fitted the bow with a figurehead of lumber cut from her sacred oaks at Dodona that could speak and had the gift of prophecy. Some of the Argonauts included Jason, their captain, Atalanta of Arcadia, the virgin huntress, Callias, the winged son of Boreas, Heracles, the strongest man in Greece, if not the world, Peleus and Melodon, Achilles' father, Orpheus, the Thracian bard, Castor and Pollux, the Spartan Dioscuri, the fastest men in the world, Nauplius and Argive, son of Poseidon and a great navigator. Nauplius the Argive, son of Poseidon and a great navigator. And that most famous of Greek heroes, Bootes of Athens, the Bee Master. What? What in Tartarus? What Tartarus? The Bee Master! A beekeeper. Oh boy. What? Some say he might have been a king or an archer or something, but yeah. Bee master. Bees. It's like the strength, the speed, the speed, the strength, the speed, the bees. Strength, speed, and sting. Okay. Oh boy. That's them. Save us.
Πρόσταγμα. Καλώς.
Λέγε.
Τέκτον.
Έτοιμο. Πρόσταγμα.
Right.
Βούλομαι. Πρόσεχε.
Wait, hold on. Right.
Πρόσταγμα. Πάνι.
Λέγε. Ετοίμος. Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα. Έτοιμος. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Λέγε.
Έτοιμοι.
Βούλομαι. Έτοιμο. Πρόσταγμα.
Oh, right.
Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα.
Έτοιμο. Λέγε.
Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα.
Πρόσταγμα. Πώς μάχην.
Λέγε. Ναι.
Λέγε. Έτοιμο. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Χώρο.
Λέγε. Καλώς.
Λέγε. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε.
Don't waste your time with these guys.
Καλώς.
Go in for the kill. Actually, hold on a second. Send one in.
Πρόσταγμα.
Εισβολή. Εις μάχη. Μάλιστα. Καλώς.
Έτοιμο. Πρόσταγμα. Λέγε. Έτοιμος. Ορθός. Χώρο.
Okay, this is starting to get ridiculous. Do something good here. Okay.
our trade caravans!
The more caravans we destroy, the fewer troops the Trojans will train. Πρόσταγμα. Εισβολή.
Greek dogs have reached our inner walls! The Greeks seek to destroy our market! If we lose our trade, it'll hurt us badly!
Λέγε πρόσταγμα.
Go for the gate.
Σμάχιν. Λέγε έτοιμος.
You
Ορθός. Καλός.
Λέγε.
You guys.
Σμάχιν. Βούλομαι. Καλώς.
Why is technology never reliable? I build weapons of mass destruction. I'm scared of mass destruction. Why is technology never reliable?
The Atlantean and Odysseus dare to attack us! Defend! Troy will never fall!
Καλώς. Εισβολή. Καλώς.
The gate is down!
See what happens when everyone works together. See, reliable technology for the win. This is what happens when technology is reliable. See how good that works when everyone does their part. Cheated a little bit, but you know. Those robots were 100% uncheated. That was a fair and square move. And it worked out so well. That was amazing. See what happens when everyone works together for a common goal. We get things like that happening. That was weird. Nobody wanted to do what they wanted to do. Nobody wanted to do what I needed them to do. And then we just managed to make it work out really well. Okay, what's the next part of this game? I think it's going to do it for us today, but just enough rope. The Trojans are counterattacking and Ajax is surrounded. Aeneas must rescue him and regain control of the battlefield. Next time we play the game, that's what we're dealing with. We save Ajax. Okay everyone, I think that's going to do it for us today. Until next time, I've been Christian Ali. This has been Age of Mythology Retold. Oh, only 15% of the way into the game. Well, that's going to be a long and really good story. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of that with you guys. Until then, I've been Chris Nally. This has been Age of Mythology Retold. Thank you so much for watching everybody, and I'll see you on the tubes. Bye everyone.